Established in 1987, the Environmental Law program at the University of Hawaii's William S. Richardson School of Law integrates Native Hawaiian values with international environmental law perspectives. Here, the program's co-directors, Richard Walsgrove and David Foreman, along with the program's core faculty member, Professor Kamaile Turchin, are hosting a tea time session to discuss with students the link between traditional knowledge and modern environmental issues. Such activities are part of the program's mission to develop leaders ready to tackle today's environmental challenges.
In 1987, the law school hired Casey Jarman to start the environmental law program, brought her over from the University of Mississippi. I started the law school in 1989. And because I took a leave of absence, I had the good fortune of being one of the first students eligible to receive the environmental law certificate. We now have 284 graduates who have received that certificate over the last 31 years.
What's exciting about being in the environmental law program is the diversity of things that are within that label, environmental law. My particular interest and passion tends to veer towards energy, decarbonization, climate change, and those sorts of things, but that's inherently also includes things like water law. It includes land use questions, transportation questions. And so this universe of sustainability all fits within the bucket of environmental law.
Professor Jarman was instrumental in laying the foundation for the program. She actually listened to the community and incorporated those lessons in building the program so that it would serve the community and meet its needs. Hawaii is a very unique place. And so she's very respectful of the native peoples who are our hosts in these lands.
I'm really enjoying teaching environmental law in the footsteps of our founders and our predecessors, people like Denise Antolini and Casey Jarman. Denise is also a perfectionist. She'll never admit it. But when it comes to a written document, like the types of documents that our students must learn to write and then will write for the entirety of their careers, everything needs to be perfect. And I think that ethic lives in the environmental law program. I know that all of the faculty members are really invested in improving our students' skill set so they can become the best possible lawyers for their clients.
I am from the Solomon Islands. University of Hawaii still provides that Pacific lens into studying whatever fields you're pursuing. And I believe that since all of my life will be based and be working in the Pacific, then this would be the right choice for me to pursue my further advanced learning.
I am an indigenous people from Taiwan. I belong to an ethnic group called Taiwan. I would like to learn more about what are the good practice in Hawaii, and also the environmental law program is really fascinating for me because it collaborates with Native Hawaiian perspective.
I wanted to go to law school because I wanted to help people. I wasn't really sure in what capacity. I was transitioning out of a nonprofit role, and I was just attending a bunch of informational sessions about schools, and I've always been interested in environmental activism. So I attended a session about the environmental law program here, and Professor Foreman was on the call, and I believe Professor Dean Antolini was on the call as well. And I just felt a sense of community from them.
In the 90s, I was a student here, involved with the Environmental Law Society. We organized lectures on natural resource issues and the law, and I actually remember some of them. We organized hikes. We actually organized one of the first recycling efforts here at the law school.
Environmental law touches every aspect of the law. You think about climate change. There is no field of law that will be untouched by either the devastation or the opportunities that come with solving the climate change challenges. I view business law in particular as an important component of this. We know, for example, that corporations have been at the core of emissions in the energy sector for centuries. We need to figure out, as a legal community, how to regulate those emissions in a way that allows those corporations to continue to thrive. Some of these entities are integral to our existence. I work a lot with electric utilities.
environmental trial is different than most trials because virtually all environmental trials are in front of a judge rather than a jury. That requires a number of different things. One is a judge will, at the end of his or her decision, render findings of fact and conclusions of law, and the attorneys need to draft these for the judge. So that's an exercise that is unique, and it requires really a sophisticated analysis of one's case. What's the ultimate decision you want? What conclusions of law support that decision? What findings of fact do you need to have to support those conclusions of law? And what evidence do you need to get those facts found? And so it requires knowledge of the law, as well as the rules of evidence and the exhibits or testimony that are going to come out at trial that support all that.
I direct our school's environmental law clinic. It's a live client clinic where we support community clients on initiatives that provide the students with a practical experience of what it's like to serve a client's needs, at the same time that we fill a gap in by providing legal services to clients who otherwise probably wouldn't be able to afford attorneys, to fight the good fight on protecting Hawaii's natural resources for present and future generations.
First foray into environmental law here, and it was the World Conservation Congress. I attended virtually, and I was focused on marine mammals and noise. Professor Antolini was there helping me, and then last year I had the amazing opportunity to attend COP, and that was in Sharm el-Sheikh. It was fantastic. It was, again, very overwhelming.
One thing I was particularly surprised in is how developed and how far and how complex the law, Native Hawaiian law, has developed in Hawaii, and how it's continually seeking to answer and test so many different and difficult problems as well as issues that they are trying to address so that it can make the lives of Native Hawaiian better. Using the law as more like a tool that can really help secure and safeguard these areas. So we've been going through, since we started this course, so many case laws. And these case laws, not only we look at from the side of the law, but we're looking in the social context, the history, and how the development so far. We got guest speakers coming in. They'll keep talking about their own personal experience. So it really, if you go to a Lexis website and read the case law, you see just black and white, but with that kind of experience, it gives on like this holistic and well-rounded understanding to what really happened.
From action to advocacy, the environmental law program at the William S. Richardson School of Law continues to inspire a new generation of lawyers. They are advocates, not just for the environment, but for the people and communities whose lives depend on it.